Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. There is work going around everywhere here. I have so much I want to tell you about, but there's a topic. So I don't mind when people disagree with me at all. Matter of fact, I suggest that people disagree with me. Find your own path, find your own way. We did a video on shipping a while back, and I got quite a bit of criticism, and I'm okay with criticism. What I don't like is when the criticism is from people that just don't get what I'm talking about. So I was given, when I was responding, they're like, well, show me these numbers. And I was like, oh, that's a fair question. I'm gonna show you my shipping numbers to show you what I do. Not to tell you what to do, but to show you what I do. Plus, we've got a lot of awesome sales today headed out of here. I can't wait to share some of them with you. Let's go take a look. So I'm saying this loud, out loud. Don't do what I do, and I mean that sincerely, unless what I do works for you. And I'm gonna break down some numbers and get some misconceptions out about some of the shipping stuff that I had talked about the previous week. And I think you'll find it interesting no matter which way you ship. When I walked in the door today, literally just a second ago, my alarm went off and it said Bonanza on it. I set my alarms whenever I see a Bonanza sale come across my screen. I set my alarm for the next day so I can ship it out. Goldberg skull cap. This one sold for $10.84. Not plus shipping on that one. And that actually might jumpstart our conversation a little bit, because I have in my flat rate shipping, this is where a lot of the confusion came in, for probably mostly new resellers. A lot of you understand it out there. I have one of my flat rate shipping policies is free shipping, and I do it on very few items, maybe, I don't know, 1% of my store. And I'm going to show you another item that I did free shipping on and tell you why I do it for certain items. So obviously that one that we just did, that Goldberg one, was free shipping. It's because all of the competition practically was doing free shipping on a particular category. This I did free shipping on as well because I wanted to really encourage, not just a little bit, really encourage multiple purchases. And that's when you're really going to make your money on them, right? And these right here did not have a multiple purchase, but you've seen me sell these before where somebody bought, I think, 12 total, and it was free shipping, but that's kind of baked in. I made a lot more money on that. $24.95 plus shipping for that little set of Penhaligon's Quercus stuff. So I'm going to say this one last time, just so people know, I'm not coming from a place of this is how you should do it. I honestly have been presented all kinds of different things from different people, and they make sense. My argument is you can do it any which way you want to do it. As long as you understand it, you're going to make money, including free shipping. I'm not one of those people that says don't ever do free shipping. No, you could do free shipping and do great on eBay. There are probably more examples of that than anything else. I choose to do it. I'm not going to go over the reasons why, but there was a few questions. One of them, well, some of them were, well, a little saucy. Let's just put it that way. They're like, you know, you think you're so smart. One of the questions I think people just don't grasp is when I said that it saves me a lot of time when listing items because I don't put in the measurements. I don't put in what something weighs. I don't put in what the dimensions are. I don't even guess what something weighs. I don't even put in a guesstimate of what something is going to be size-wise, because I don't pre-box stuff. That seems kind of crazy to me. I'm sorry for those of you out there who pre-box. But space is a commodity for resellers, and if you're pre-boxing everything, it's going to take up just tons of space. But of course, I put in, when I go to ship it, you put in what it is after it's all packaged up. So there was one misconception out there. And another, you know, you think you're so smart, I bet you're losing a fortune on shipping doing it this way. I looked at your prices for shipping, and you don't charge near enough. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not trying to make a bunch of money on shipping. I'm trying to be very competitive in shipping. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit today. So they said, show me your numbers. And I was like, okay, because you can look that up. And I hardly ever do because it seems like a waste of time. But I looked it up. I looked at how much money came to me from buyers for the shipping cost. And then I compared it to, this is I don't know, it was a 90-day total. I can't remember what I looked up. No, it was a 30-day total. Is that right? Yeah, 30-day total. And then I looked at it and I compared it to how much I actually paid for shipping on eBay. And I can't think of anything that I shipped off of eBay. So this should be, you know, using pirate ship or something. Occasionally I'll do that with something for different reasons, but not very often. And so I looked at the numbers and they've disappeared again. So I got to pull them up here. So $2,459.22 came in for shipping and handling costs, shipping costs. I don't do a handling fee. There's people out there who do that. There's some people who do free shipping and do that because they can adjust that handling thing if there's spikes in shipping costs. So $2,459, and I paid $2,019. So that's what, $450 extra money that I got. This is purely by looking at an item and saying, hey, that's going to be $8.99 to ship. That's going to be $11.99 to ship. That's going to be $5.99 to ship. That's all I do. I just simply, when I go to list the item, once it goes to the shipping part, I just hit a button and it picks the price that I want to charge for shipping. You have to do it through, what do I do? I'm trying to think of the name of it. Standard flat rate or standard shipping. Standard shipping, and then so they don't even know which service they're going to get. And it allows me the ability to choose which service they're going to get based on how much they buy, based on what's the cheapest price. I'm not telling them how I'm going to ship it. And I like it that way. So that is, what did I say, $440 extra that came into me. Now that's not really extra because eBay charges fees on the shipping money that comes in. So we'll do those calculations really quick, or at least roughly do them to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. My end goal here is to sell more merchandise. And everything is baked into this price in some way. So this should be actually a proof that you can do free shipping. You can even do calculated shipping. I think you're cutting yourself off a little bit depending on how you do it. This is Nos, is that right? Nostradamus? I don't know. I'm sure y'all know who it is and listen to it or something. I don't know. I don't. $26 plus shipping on that. Because I have standard shipping, by the way, I can look at media mail. And by the way, I also have a calculated shipping option, which I do on media. And so I'll just put in, I'll be like, okay, it's media, you know, that's what, it's over a pound is my guess. So it'd be 2 pounds. So I'd probably put this in media mail shipping, 2 pounds. Put some bogus, after it's packaged, it'll be just over a pound, I think. And that gives me the option. So they paid media mail shipping for this, which means I'm probably going to lose money on it, by the way. Sometimes with media mail, I might put in 3 pounds to give it a little bit of padding on it for cost, but I don't know what I did on this. Anyway, it gives me the option because sometimes you can ship it out a little bit quicker to somebody for basically the same price, and sometimes I'll do that. Okay, so we're $4,400 over in what we charge for shipping versus what we paid, but I also have to pay that shipping cost, the fees on the shipping. So my calculations is fees on that are roughly $360. So that eats into the $440. That leaves us with what, $80 left, and you have to pay for shipping supplies. Although I don't pay for all of it. Speaking of, we just got these from eBay. I've never ordered these before on the free coupon. I think they're cool. They're a little cheaper than the other ones, and there's a lot of stuff it'll work for. Plus, I have so many of the other ones right now, I don't really need it. So if you haven't used your coupon yet, you should probably go and do that. There's a bunch. They're thinner, too. So, I mean, you could ship a CD in that, I suppose. It's got enough padding in it. Anyway, side point. So after paying for shipping supplies for the month, I'm pretty close. I probably spend more than 80 bucks, to be honest with you. I'm pretty close to break even. And that's kind of where I want to be. That's where I want to be. I want to provide an opportunity for more people to buy my stuff. I thoroughly believe doing it this way is going to bring far more revenue in. Now, there's a lot of people who do calculated shipping. I was talking to somebody the other day. It was Dave, I think. And I asked him on the podcast, I'm like, you know, you're losing money on shipping. He's like, how could I possibly be losing money on shipping? I love you, Dave. I was like, well, you're doing calculated shipping, which means you're taking the time to put all that data in there as you're listing the item. And then you're returning all of your discount because they, you know, if you don't return any of it, they're paying retail prices. He's returning all of his discount. So the exact money that comes in for shipping is the exact cost of the shipping, provided that his calculations are correct, which a lot of times they're not, but they got to take fees out of it. So you're guaranteeing yourself losing money, quote unquote. I don't really like this terminology because if you could do it this way. Matter of fact, I suggest people who use calculated shipping return a huge portion of the retail versus the actual cost to the buyer. Not at the end of the process, but automated at the beginning of the process. I personally think that if I was doing calculated shipping, I would be returning a hefty portion. I might even return all of it and then take, just eat the extra cost because you're paying the fees and you're paying for other stuff. Because you can just calculate that into the price of the item. What matters to the buyer 90% of the time is what is the overall cost of an item. If you're like me and you buy, and some people don't, they just, they're getting promos set in front of them and they pay way too much for stuff in my perfect opinion, in my personal opinion. They're just paying too much. I go on there and I look for the cheapest one, shipping and cost, price plus shipping combined. I want to find the cheapest one to me. And that's the way I do it. So, there is a definite argument that could be made for those who do calculated shipping that you are selling more to people close to you. And that is a perfectly fine argument. I think the same is absolutely true in reverse for people farther away from you. And I'm in a volume game. So it's why I do it. So I'm basically break even, give or take a few bucks on either side of it with my current system. With the prices going up for shipping, I just bumped those things. I took my $4.49 shipping and I bumped it to $4.69. I rarely use it on stuff. I bumped my $4.99 to $5.19. I just kept bumping everything up a little bit. And at the end of the day, at the end of the month, I'm sure I'll be very close to that as well. So that's one of the pieces, when I get people saying, you think you're so smart, let me see your numbers. Well, okay. It was great. It was a good question. It was an honest question. And I wanted to look at it myself, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. It's fall, y'all. Sold a sweater. Nothing amazing. Size large on that one. It sold on 30% off for $9.07 plus shipping. My AC just kicked on here. It was on autopilot. I'm going to turn it off real quick. I also have to give a thank you to somebody. Whoever sent me this the other day, I read it on the thing. I was like, you know what? I need it here. This is probably what they intended it for. Check this out. I don't have to plug and unplug anymore. Just turn it on. I need to order some more of those. Those are cool. Anyways, there's people like, I like to make money on shipping. I make so much money every year on shipping. Okay. That's fine. That's great. I have no problem with it. But my honest opinion is you're doing one of two things. You are either costing yourself sales, or you are costing yourself a portion of your sales price a lot of times. Not always, but a lot of times. I think that's what's happening. So, but my overall point still stands. You can do it any which way you want to. The only thing that matters is the bottom line at the end of the day. How much money are you making? And I know a lot of people, you don't keep track of your numbers. You don't even know what you're making. You got to figure it out at tax time. But as long as the bottom line is good, who cares how you ship? I honestly think the way I do it is the best for me, or I wouldn't do it that way. I had to make a decision. This is the Buy It All podcast, y'all. Ray and Keith and Jimmy. Y'all go check it out. WrestleFest 90. I had to make a decision on some items that I wanted to keep originally and decided to cut bait with to make that shipping area inside. And this was one of them. How cool is this? WrestleFest 90. Coliseum video. Just have one little slice in that cover, but that is awesome. It sold for pretty good money, too. $28.45 for that VHS, plus shipping. Since I now have 2 shipping stations, check this out. Every time I buy stuff now, I can put it in 2 different places. All right, I'm taking these inside. Y'all, I have 4 areas I can take pictures of now. We are going to talk about the numbers, by the way, for the rest of the... Well, we're going to talk about September numbers compared to my goal. I made a mess in here because I was listing a bunch of Fiesta Halloween stuff. I just bought it. I'm like, I got to get this stuff listed. I'll put this stuff up down here. But I had to come in here for a different reason. And that is to find this right here. This guy sold. That is not tape. So don't freak out. It's shrink wrap. This is what we've been working on sales today. We're going to up our numbers live and on eBay. Ambitious goals. This is a Patrick Nagel print. And I'm going to take the shrink wrap off and show it to you really quick. All right, the condition on this is not perfect. There's a few little issues here and there. So these can actually go for quite a bit more. But there were those issues. And we will loose roll it just like I had it and put it in a something like the paper comes in and ship it off. It's over $237 and change plus shipping. You see something that looks like that out there, pick it up. You usually can make some money on it. I've still been getting some cancellations. I sold those popple puzzles that were back there, and that order got canceled, so I'm gonna have to put that back up. I might leave it packaged, although I like them sitting out there. Y'all, last weekend's sales, garage sales, were crazy. I found tons of purses. We've sold most of them off already on Dibdit. Did really well. Thank you to all the folks who came by for that. We are going to up our Dibdit game along with eBay this Q4. I have the goal of $25,000 for the month of October. We'll talk about and we might skip ahead and talk about the numbers early. And the other thing besides those purses is I found a bunch of cameras at a fill-a-bag sale for $5. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So that was amazing. Plus I found my favorite thing in the world to find, which is PVCs, and I found bags of them. So I was pretty dang happy about that. I'm not going to open this one up. It's a Sony APS-C Alpha A3000. It's a really nice camera. Thought we could get top dollar for it. We ended up not getting top dollar. Sold it on 30% off. Still made a killing on it. $174.97 plus shipping. Of course, we had the goal of $250,000 in sales, static and live. 150,000 static, mostly on eBay, and 100,000 on Dibdit or live. And we've been keeping track of it, and we got to do the September numbers here. If I can find it, I will show that to you. I'm going to pull one more item quickly. I have not totaled them up on purpose because I want to keep driving myself. I know we're a little behind those numbers, but this is my wife and her friend's funny way of... They're just nuts. Anyway, Blue Ridge Mama and Sam, her friend Sam. This box right here, which I'm not going to pull out with one hand, I had to buy it because I absolutely love these old storage boxes. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I knew I was going to buy it. Probably $3, $4, $5. Who knows? It only sold for $20, but we'll still make some money. It's pretty easy to ship. Should fit in one of these boxes really easy. A little bit of paper, and it's done deal. Just a couple minutes. So probably, I don't know if I paid $5. I want to say I paid $5. I paid up for it. $5 plus shipping into 20 plus shipping. Or excuse me, $5 into 20. You know what I mean. Just ran the totals, and static 20 for September. So this is not Q4 yet. This is last month's numbers. 12,900 static. That is mostly eBay. But, you know, I mean, you see some bonanza sales. We do a few local deals that I don't talk about too much for a couple of reasons. Let's just say one of the... a lot of times with precious metals, I don't put some of that stuff on video. And I put most of it on there. And the sales I don't put on video. But 12,900 and 7,800 live. So if you look at those numbers and calculate them out for the course of a year, we're going to hit 150,000 with that number. But the problem is some of those first months way back here, we weren't ready. There's 11,000, 13, that was a good month. You know, there's different numbers here where we're not quite on pace to where we need to be. And that's not going to get to 100,000 with that number, but we've got goals for this month that should get us there. Really for the next 3 months. So Q4, I'm shooting for the month of October for $25,000 in sales. 15,000 on eBay and 10,000 on essentially Dibdit. That's the only place I sell live. So I'm not sure. The Dibdit part scares me. We have been buying so much, so I think we can get there. In Q4, people are buying for Christmas and stuff. So should be a big win. I'm going to pick a few more items, and I'll give you, every time I do these numbers, I like to throw in the numbers people ask me about. Our marketplace, Dibdit.com, plus we do DibditCards.com, and we do Shop Common. So I'll throw those in really quick, but we've got so much more to talk about today. I can't wait. Next item is not something I normally sell. My dad picked it up at a yard sale because he said everything was so cheap. And he's like, you always pick up Pyrex. I'm like, well, I like old Pyrex, not this stuff. But this stuff sells too. Sold for $14.95 plus shipping. I have kind of gotten away from selling these things as well. It's just, I don't know. It's okay when you, I bought a big giant buyout. And sometimes, you know, they want you to take everything for the price. And so sometimes you just got to do it. Because these sell, it's sold for 20 bucks. I mean, think of the money you could save, right? I don't know why people go to Home Depot for some things or Lowe's or whatever. It's like, man, I can get this way cheaper. Anyway, that's sold for 20 bucks plus shipping. It's a bit of a pain. This thing's a bit of a pain, labor intensive for $14.95, but hey, it all adds up. Here's some irony here. I normally don't talk about this stuff, but I'm going to talk about it right here for just a second. I just got a message. It came across my phone while I was looking up the numbers for Dibdit.com. And it was another message for a paid collaboration with the other live selling site. And I don't have anything against them. I don't, none whatsoever. I used to do this. I used to run ads on my Commonwealth Picker channel about it and do like a lot of creators do. Got no problem with it. I just made a decision quite a while ago. You know, y'all, I gave up my pension. I gave up, 9 years before I was done teaching to get that full retirement, whatever, to do this. And so a lot of what I do is thinking long term. And the short-term money is nice too, don't get me wrong, I could have done that. But I wanted to do this, I wanted to have something of my own. I partnered with some folks, and I'm pushing Dibdit really hard. Q4 is perfect for it. Matter of fact, I'm going to do something as a thank you. I see Jess. Jess is here. Hold on a second. Nope, she's not here now. I thought I saw her. Maybe she's going in to do some Dibdit stuff. I usually do shows on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so you're seeing this after those shows, so I'm not really promoting my shows. But come on over to Dibdit.com for the holidays. I don't overpromise anything, especially to sellers, because this is an experiment we've been doing for quite a while. I've been having fun with it, and it's been growing. And we're going to do something here today as a thank you as well. I might go into the other shed and pick something out. I got a bug up here buzzing around. Anyway, back to the topic. I'm not going to take this deal from that other site because I've got my own. And I make money off of it, not near as much as people accuse me of making. They don't understand how it all works, but the numbers are pretty good. And so right now, this month, so the last 30 days, Dibdit is at $109,000 in a month, which is pretty good. And, a decent portion of that was me, $7,800. Actually, that totals what I did on cards and on commons as well. So not all of it, but there's a lot of people having success over there. I will promise you, if you come on over, you'll have fun. And if you're buying for Christmas, there are deals that are going to be way cheaper than you can get anywhere else. Plus, I'm doing giveaways all the time. It's been fun. Dibdit Cards, which I am a minority owner in. Well, I'm a minority owner in all of these, to be honest with you. I guess I've never said this. I own 20% of Dibdit Cards. And I own 30% of Dibdit. Shop Commons, I own a little bit more, obviously. That's got my name on it. That is basically, at this point, it is a static selling bulk lot site. And it sells quite a bit. So far, 211,000. Not for the month. That's the total. And the totals for Dibdit, 953,000. So we're almost at $1 million in sales. And Dibdit Cards is at 212,000. And we started that this year, after the year started, into February or something. So they are growing, we're having fun, and some people are having success selling. A lot of buyers are having success buying and reselling or buying for themselves. All right, there's my promo for Dibdit.com. Next one I glanced at, and I'm like, oh, that should be over on this side of the shed, but then I saw it was an actual game, so it's over here. And by the way, you can see this, I actually lose money by doing Dibdit.com versus doing something else for now. And for all the folks who have joined us over there and had fun and had success as a seller, congratulations. I'm doing my best. For those of you who go over there and it's a up and down road, I'm sorry. I can only do what I can do. And it is growing. Snap-on game tote. This one right here. That's pretty cool. I bought this down in Florida as part of a giant lot, but it never sold. So we put it on 30% off, sold for 28 bucks plus shipping. Back to the hats back here. This hat this is part of the list easier thing. We're about ready to list. I might show you this. I've been doing, well, if you've been following this channel for a while, you've known what I've been doing, so I'm going to spare you the speech. But we are ready to jump back into list easier. My goal of 25,000 for the month includes being able to get on there and do massive quantities. I'm hoping to get 110 listings done in about 2 hours. That's including all the photos for that. So that's going to be a challenge, and I'm about ready to jump into that as soon as I put the camera down. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. My wife has been out of town, and I got to go pick her up tonight. She probably wouldn't like it. This is going to fall on me. Let me put the camera down. All right, we used List Easier to list 41 hats. I did my part of it. The pictures took a little while, of course, but I actually listed them in about 10 minutes. Which was cool. And we've sold 20 now of the 41. And this was sold for $22 plus shipping. I sold some Lifesavers, of all things. First time I think I've ever sold that. Lifesavers lollipops. I bought a bunch of stuff over there from Pick an Anthology on Dibdit for myself and for my family. And this was in one of the lots, and I really didn't want it. So I was like, you know what? Let's just sell it right here. And it was over $12.95 plus shipping. Now, I am not a niche down seller, nor do I want to be, but I admire the heck out of so many of you that are, especially your knowledge in a particular category. I was never much of a bookseller. Ironically, even though some of my very first big sales on eBay 25 years ago were books, it just never intrigued me, but I have got better and better at it over the years. This is not an amazing thing, but I was at a sale where I could get everything dirt cheap, and I was just throwing stuff in to make some extra money. Great Books Foundation set. Look at that. Chaucer, Cervantes, Don Quixote. I love that. Check this out, y'all. That's Don Quixote. Love that one right there. Cervantes was brilliant. Satirist, really. Any rate, these, and got Hume in here, Voltaire, Darwin, Melville, Chaucer, Canterbury Tales. Anyway, that sold for $22.95 plus shipping. All right, I've got more sales. We're coming back, but I wanted to do this a little bit before the end of the video, hopefully get more people involved. A little announcement. Somebody told me they didn't believe that it was only 27 steps out here. I guess I need to film myself walking. All right, we are here. There you go. All right, it is dark in here. This is a giant mess, but it's getting better. I bought so much, y'all. We're doing Christmas shows. We're gonna list some of these on eBay as well. Over there on Dibdit, we've got brand new stuff in the boxes. I didn't really come out here to show you all this, but I won't show it to you. I'll show you what I'm coming here for. Coca-Cola ornaments out the wazoo. I want to grab that, but I can't grab it from here. I was able to reach back there and grab it. Check this thing out. I had somebody send me a message that says, how come you always do your $1 offers on Dibdit on stuff that men would like? What about us old ladies? That wasn't my words, y'all. That was their words. And I was like, okay, maybe you'd like a swung vase for $1. So that's what we're gonna do. And I don't mean $1 auction start. I mean, somebody's gonna buy this for $1. And I have to give some clarity, because every time we do this, people are like, what are you doing? You're a scammer. So I gotta give you some clarity so you can defend me out there in the social media world. I had people sending me messages, you're not allowed to do raffles and what. This is not a raffle. Nobody will pay a dime for this, except for the one person who pays $1 for it. Originally, I had it listed for $100. Didn't sell, so instead of putting it on that, well, we just put it on that 30% off, but I took it down because somebody's going to get this sweet swung vase for $1. We're going to do a quick turnaround on this. So you're going to see this on Thursday. I think no later than next Wednesday. If you put in your offer for $1 on this over on Dibdit.com, then we'll go on there and randomly select one person, accept their $1 offer, and you just bought it for $1. And you can keep it for yourself, or you can sell it. Look at that. When I took it down, it was in two people's carts because we just put it on that offer for $70, and somebody was going to buy that thing super quick. So it is live now. Just go put in a $1 offer. That's all you got to do. I am also toying with the idea, no pun intended, of doing a free toy show over there on Dibdit. And I know one other person is going to do a free show as well, and it's a charity. Well, I don't want to explain it all. It's just going to be fun over here as we get closer to the holidays. This, some Cabbage Patch Kids are worth crazy money. Some aren't. And even when you find them in the box, sometimes they're just not. You got to really be careful looking at comps on stuff. This one is, I don't even remember where I got it, to be honest with you. But it sold. It sold for $30 plus shipping. I love selling sterling silver. And I don't sell too much gold on eBay for obvious reasons, but I do sell sterling. When you come across cool pieces, and I paid up for these, I just absolutely love it. This is a Gorham piece, and it sells for more than the silver weight, as a lot of them do. But that is a, let me make sure. Yep, that's it. Sterling silver Gorham. Double check the picture. It sold for $42.70 plus shipping. I have an item inside I gotta go pick. Oh, you are awake. I didn't want to go in because I was gonna open the door, and he usually gets up. Let's see what he does. You can stay here, bud. I'll be right back. I'll just leave the door up. Yeah, see, I knew I'd get you up. No, you're gonna stay there? Nope. Look who snuck in here. Look at you. Look at you sneaking in. How you doing? No kids today. They're gonna be gone anyway. So, size small Liberty University soccer dry fit shirt. Sold on discount for $10.46 plus shipping. I usually pay $1. what are you doing? There's no treats up here, bud. Sorry. Y'all, I ordered so many shipping supplies because I now have 2 shipping tables. And I'm kind of excited about something else as well. This is an area I could take pictures because I've bought so much if I needed to. My daughter wants to get into taking pictures too, which makes me really happy. And I don't have to pay her that much. She's my daughter after all. Something's on my, I feel like I got a spider web on my hair or something. What the heck is going on? At any rate, so now that brings us to 4 different areas we can take pictures in. So if I need to take pictures, or my wife, or even my daughter at the same time, we can do it that way. And that reminds me every time I say that the vast majority of people out there are doing this and working their tails off. They don't have the support of their family, and I'm lucky to have that, although Turner does nothing except for play baseball. At any rate, and of course Jess as well, and she helps. She does all of Dibbed It for us except for run the shows, absolutely everything. And so that is very, very nice. So, at any rate, I have been buying, look at that, bubble wrap showed up, American Bubble Boy. I do the automated bubble wrap, but since I had to, in other words, it gets shipped to me on a schedule, and it's worked out pretty good for what we do, but I had to buy an extra lot of 4 over there. It's cheaper if you do the automated part. Plus, you don't have to think about it. Plus, you don't have to order it, and you save time. That link's always down below. I'm not really pushing it. I'm just telling you this because if you're like me, having enough supplies for Q4 can be expensive, and you're kind of betting on the come a little bit. And we had to double our efforts because I didn't want to have, I wanted to have fully stocked shipping areas in 2 places. And that's what we did. So I feel pretty good. I'll probably have to get on and order a few more things, but we should have enough bubble wrap to get us to Christmas. I hope so. And boxes we'll have to reorder and stuff. And we pick some up at Walmart as well when we're doing Dibbed It orders that are really big. But hey, come on over and join us over on dibbedit.com. You maybe get this for $1. Somebody's going to get it. Might as well be you. Thank y'all for joining us, and I can't wait to see you next time.